Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Tel Aviv. Coming up in today's newscast, Israel denounces the Iran nuclear deal. The EU prepares new sanctions against Israeli settlements, and a popular Israeli TV show is headed to the United States. I'm Natasha Kirchak here with the latest news in Israel. Israeli leaders are denouncing the implementation of the Iran nuclear deal, which was announced yesterday in Vienna. Prime Minister Netanyahu vows that Israel will carefully monitor the deal and claims Iran is still seeking nuclear weapons.
בהמשך להסכם הגרעין עם איראן, ישראל תמשיך לעקוב אחר כל הפרות בינלאומיות של איראן, כולל של הסכם הגרעין והסכם הטילים הבליסטיים והטרור. הקהילה הבינלאומית חייבת לנקוט בסנקציות חמורות ותקיפות על כל הפרה. אלמלא המאמצים שלנו בהובלת הסנקציות ובמניעת תוכנית הגרעין של איראן, לאיראן מזמן היה כבר נשק גרעיני, ומדיניות ישראל הייתה ונשארה בדיוק כפי שהייתה, לא לאפשר לאיראן להשיג נשק גרעיני.
Meanwhile, the United States couldn't be more satisfied with the deal. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry has declared that the world is now safer since the threat of Iran's nuclear weapon has been reduced. Kerry claims that Iran completed the necessary steps to restrict its nuclear programs, which means international economic sanctions against Iran will now be lifted.
After more than 2.5 years of intense multilateral negotiations, the International Atomic Energy Agency has now verified that Iran has honored its commitments to alter and, in fact, dismantle much of its nuclear program in compliance with the agreement that we reached last July.
The implementation of the deal comes just on the heels of Iran's release of 5 American prisoners. Kerry says that the nuclear agreement represents another step towards reconciliation between the United States and Iran. The Obama administration is trumpeting the deal as a signature foreign policy achievement. But Israeli leaders are saying the U.S. is mistaken if they see Iran as a solution to regional stability. On Saturday, an Israeli official said that after sanctions are lifted, Iran's first priority will be to spend its funds on the military instead of on civilian investments. The European Union is preparing new sanctions against Israelis living in the West Bank and the Golan Heights, and the Israeli Foreign Ministry is scrambling to block their plans. Sweden, Ireland, and France are pushing forward the draft resolution, which intends to intensify the distinction between Israel and the Israeli territories captured in the 1967 war. The resolution calls for ensuring that agreements between Israel and the EU only apply to Israel, and not its settlements. It also demands further action to protect the viability of a two-state solution. In November, the EU approved guidelines for member states to label products made in Israeli settlements. Israel has since accused the EU of boycotting Israel and being anti-Semitic. Meanwhile, a senior Israeli minister is warning of the imminent collapse of the Palestinian Authority. Absorption Minister and member of the Security Cabinet Zev Elkin said that the PA is crumbling and anarchy is soon to follow. Elkin says Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas is tired and weak, and that forces are now working against him. He says there's almost a zero chance that the PA president will be able to choose his replacement, and that several potential leaders will fight it out until one emerges on top. This alleged war of all against all will result in a collapse of the Palestinian Authority, and Elkin is urging Israel to get involved before it's too late. It looks like Turkey and Israel may finally make up. A senior Turkish official says that diplomatic ties with Israel will be normalized soon. The unnamed official told a Turkish newspaper that there's been a breakthrough in restoring frayed relations. Ties between the former allies broke down after the Israeli Navy intercepted the Gaza-bound Mavi Marmara flotilla in 2010, and 9 Turkish nationals were killed. If ties are restored between Turkey and Israel, both countries will return their ambassadors. Israeli officials say Turkey will also drop lawsuits against IDF officers involved in the Mavi Marmara incident. There's an economic incentive to renewed relations between Turkey and Israel. Ankara will reportedly allow Jerusalem to lay down a gas pipeline on its soil, and Israel will sell natural gas to Turkey. A well-known Christian church in Jerusalem was vandalized overnight. The walls of the Dormition Abbey were spray-painted with violent slogans. Hebrew words were found on the walls and doors of the church, saying Christians to hell and death to the heathen Christians. The police say the incident is just the latest in a series of hate crimes against Christians and churches in Israel in recent years. The church is located on Mount Zion, which lies just outside the walls of the Old City, and it's believed to be the site where the Virgin Mary passed away. Police have opened an investigation into the vandalization of the holy site. Public Security Minister Gilad Erdan has vowed to catch the attackers. He says there must be zero tolerance against anyone attempting to harm religious freedom in Israel.
When we see the graffitis, we inform the police. We took pictures of the graffiti, and of course we try to understand what the message. And we understand very quickly it's not a nice message. You know, there's like death to the Christians or revenge for Israel.
There's nothing like taking a shower with the perfect temperature and the perfect water pressure. Now imagine taking that perfect shower and knowing it was also environmentally friendly. The Israeli startup SmartTap knows just how to make that happen. Ran Zarovich joins us from SmartTap with more. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So what is SmartTap?
So SmartTap makes showers smarter, safer, and greener. We developed a digital shower system, or a connected shower. It is a mixer or an input, something that everyone has in his house if he wants to take a shower. But what we did, our technology, helps connect and monitor, control and monitor every aspect of water that water brings you. So, and the aspects are flow rate, temperature, and pressure. So if you want to look at it of what we do, you want to look at it on two different aspects. One, we bring a great shower experience. The idea of a great shower experience is not only setting, as you said in your beginning, setting your shower to your desired temperature and flow rate, and your husband or your kids for different settings, but also eliminate scalding risks, the risk for someone to getting burned, okay? Or if you want to actually reduce the amount of water and energy you're using, we do that basically, and we've helped reduce a lot of water in our different installations around the world. Now, it's not only that we do it inside the house. Let's say we're using an app, okay? And if you're coming back home and you want to turn on the shower to be ready for you, you press the app. The app, since it's a connected shower, the shower talks to the boiler that hits exactly the amount of water that you need in order to have a great shower experience. By that, we save water, we save energy.
Interesting. So that's how you're saving energy. And who do you hope will purchase this technology? Is it going to be individuals or major businesses, hotels?
So we work B2B, and you're right about the hotel industry, or I would say hospitality industry. We bring a very accurate added value to the hotel industry or the hospitality industry, hotels, hospitals, and so on, because hotel managers want to go green. Okay, and they want to know how much water they're using, how can they save water. They want to know if it's possible, if there's a leakage, to detect it. We do that. If there's any freezing of the pipe, not quite in the hospitality industry, but in the residential industry, we detect leakage, we detect pipe freezing, we detect a lot of issues that water brings you. So we save water, we bring a great shower experience, we bring added value.
So speaking about those safety issues, how does the system know to turn itself on in response to electrical surges, turn itself off?
If there's any problem, first it's a very safe system. Okay, it's been tested all over in the different regions, and it's a very safe system. It turns off at the moment there is a risk of any scalding. It shuts down automatically. If there's a leakage, it shuts down automatically. So there's no problem safety-wise. What we also do, it's a system that allows you to have, via an app or via a dashboard or your computer, it allows you to monitor and control every aspect of work that you have.
So how easy is it to install? Is that a difficult process? Does it integrate with all systems?
It's very easy. Once everyone needs the mixer, Okay? It's something that you need inside your house. The installation is very simple. I wouldn't say it's a DIY product, but it's a plumbing product, so it's not a DIY anyway. It's easy to install. It's actually more flexible to install than the regular mixers in the market today. So very simple.
And where is it sold? How much does it cost?
Yeah, so it is sold in mainly in Europe today. We just came back from CES in Las Vegas last week.
Wow.
And now we're working into integrating into the smart homes, okay, into the smart home industry, because everyone talks about in the smart home electricity, curtains, locks.
A smart home should have smart water as well.
Exactly. Right? No one has a smart water in their house, and that's what exactly we are. This is our vision. Smart water, smart home.
And how much money does it save for users?
Yeah, it saves approximately. It can go up to $350, $400 per user per shower. So it's per year, of course. So it's a substantial amount of money that returns your investment. You return your buying, the fact that you bought it, in about even 2.5, 3 years.
So this is an Israeli company that pioneered this technology. How did you guys come up with the idea? I know that water is a big issue in Israel, and the technology is definitely helpful in that sense.
So SmartTap CEO Asaf Shaltiel a few years ago had his sister gave birth to twins, and one day he came to help her with make a shower. And he saw how his sister is struggling. Should the water be, are the water too hot or too cold? Is it too much water or less? And he thought, using your elbow if it's to feel the right temperature. And he thought, what would happen if the water will fill up automatically? With the right settings, with the right temperature and the right flow. And that's how the Eureka came up. And he said, if we can solve this, maybe we can solve the whole water issue problem of controlling your water.
Of course, because you end up wasting a lot of water when you're waiting for it to heat up or to cool down. So that's great. Well, good job. Excited to see where this goes, and thanks so much for coming in.
I just want to say, can I add one more thing? Terra Venture Partners are a VC from Jerusalem that focuses on clean tech. I've been great supporters of SmartUp during the years, so I want to thank them for that, and that's it.
Great. Well, thank you again for coming in. It looks like one of Israel's top TV shows is headed to the United States. Sony Studios has purchased the popular Israeli series Zagori Empire.
The comedic mystery drama Zigori Empire is considered to be one of the most successful series to air on Israeli television. The series centers on the trials and tribulations of Avriel Zigori, who was sent away from his home in Beersheba to a boarding school. While there, he's urged to discard his traditional Moroccan Jewish heritage and adopt the norms and culture of his Ashkenazi peers. The popular series is shot by Herzliya Studios and based in Beersheba. Now that Sony has acquired it, the English version of the show will be produced and written by David Shore, the creator of the American series House. Keep your eyes and ears open for the English version of the successful Israeli show.
It's time for our Hebrew word of the day. Today we spoke with another amazing Israeli startup that's changing the world for the better. This brings us to today's word, tikkun, which was suggested by ILTV viewer Isaac Moseson. Tikkun means repair in Hebrew, and by itself, tikkun is pretty literal. But it's often used in the phrase tikkun olam, which has a much more profound meaning, repairing the world. To the Jewish people, tikkun olam is the driving force in making the world a better place. And that could be through taking a sick animal to the vet, making someone's day brighter with a kind act, or even planting a tree. Lots of the amazing innovations emerging from Israel are based on this beautiful concept of tikkun olam. And if you find a way to incorporate tikkun olam into your life, I'm sure you'll have lots of success as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the weather forecast. It's the beginning of a new week. Monday should be mostly sunny with lots of wind and a high of 61 degrees. The temperature is expected to drop on Tuesday with more wind and rain. All right, everybody, that's it for today's news. Today's exchange rate is 3.97 shekels to the American dollar. Remember to sign up for our daily newsletter at ILTV.tv. And don't forget to check out our new breaking newscast every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.